This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on Film Riot, I fly a drone.
Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes mystery out of the effects techniques, going some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and I've had my Inspire 1 for a while now. We used it on our Portal short and talked about that a little bit on the show already, but today we're jumping into a full look at this lovely pile of flying tech. First getting into the setup, then how to fly, and then looking at some footage from this bad boy. The Inspire comes in this solid case, which has spots for your batteries, 2 controllers, your propellers, charger, and the rest of your goodies. The first thing I'm going to do is to check my battery's charge. To do this, I'll tap the button once on the top here to see where the battery's charge is at. Now to charge it, I'm going to grab my charger and attach it using the box end to get it charged. I just said charge like 80 times.
It's actually impressive.
Thank you. Then I'll grab my remote, again tap the power button once to see the charge, then attach this to the same charger using the attached cable, and you know they finish their charge once the light shuts off.
Say charge one more time.
Charge.
Perfect. Move on.
Now I'll get the main Inspire body out of the case and pop in a battery. Next, I'll take my remote, turn it on by tapping it once, then holding. Then I'll set up my iPhone on the holder, and I'll make it fit by pulling these teeth out here to make the phone snug, then connect my phone to the remote using the iPhone cable. Then I'll open the DJI Go app. Now I'll turn on my Inspire, and again, this is done by pushing the button once, then again, and holding. Once on, it should connect to the remote. You'll know it has once the remote light goes green. If it doesn't, go to the app, then menu, click the remote icon, and select Link RC. After that, take something like a pen or screwdriver and hit the sync button on your Inspire. Should connect after that. Once connected, hit the drone looking icon and select Exit Travel Mode. This will make your drone lift itself up so you can get the camera on. Now shut the Inspire off and attach the camera, which is this portal looking character here. Do that by lining up the white line and spinning to the lock position. Next, we will attach the propellers. If you look on the top here, you will see that you have a gray dot on 2 of them and the others are completely black. Then if you look on the mounting screws, you see that you have 2 gray screws and 2 black. So match the colors up and then spin them on. On the top of the propellers, you'll see that there's a visual aid on which direction to spin each one to tighten or loosen them. And now I'm ready to get everything turned on. So make sure your remote is powered on first, pop in a memory card to the camera, and make sure you have the Inspire on a level surface with good visibility for the camera so it can calibrate properly. Then you're ready to turn the Inspire on too. It will connect and the camera will auto-calibrate. Now with the Inspire on, go into your app and look at the satellite readout to see here how many satellites you have connected. I wait till about 7 at least before feeling comfortable enough to fly. And the final thing that I need to do before taking off is to calibrate my compass. To do this, I'm going to go into the app, then mode, then hit calibrate next to compass selection. It will give me the instructions to lift my Inspire up, holding it flat and spin 360 degrees. When the light turns green, I'll face the nose of the Inspire down and spin 360 degrees again. Once the light turns off from that solid green, I'm good to go. Of course, you also want to make sure that you are in an open area without obstructions that you are actually allowed to fly in as well. But now to get the motor going, I can either hit take off here, then slide to have it take off for me, or push both sticks down and in, and this will start the motors. After that, I hit up on the left stick and we take off. And once I take off, you see that the Inspire keeps itself in position, not drifting, which is great because if I take my hands off the remote, it stays in position. But if I flip this switch here, we change out of GPS mode, which is what's keeping the drone in place, to attitude mode. Now the drone isn't locked in a position anymore and will drift. Both have their advantages, but GPS is a safer way to fly, I think, although not always as smooth. Now before we jump into flying, let's do some sponsor loving. I've been talking about how Domain.com has .club for a while now, and I've told you that .club is universal and understood globally. I told you that it's $9.99 a year and 25% off with the coupon code FilmRiot, and now I've been thinking, since the idea behind .club is collaboration and community, it'd be fun to have an online scavenger hunt. So here's what we're going to do. Starting today, for the rest of the month, we're going to be having a scavenger hunt, a digital scavenger hunt, and the winner of this hunt is going to be getting a brand new 128 gig iPad and a GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition, thanks to the folks at Domain.com and .club. Now what do you need to do? To start, you're gonna have to go to this site right here, FilmRiotHunt.club. There you're gonna find the rules, see the prizes, and get the first clue to start you off on your digital hunt. The clues will be Film Riot trivia that will take you to episodes and other such things. You'll follow those until you hit a wall, basically. Then you'll need to wait for the ad in the Film Riot episode on September 17th to give you the next clue that will take you the rest of the way. Now you need to start at the beginning or nothing will make sense. Not even the clue that I give on September 17th will make any sense to you if you haven't already started at the beginning and made your way all the way through to that point. Then at the end of this hunt, you're gonna find a hidden email address. The first person to complete the hunt by finding that hidden email address and emailing us with the message that it says to send is going to win that iPad and GoPro. So again, go here to get started, and happy hunting.
Logo.
So we're all set up and went through the checklist and we are ready to fly. But if this is your first time flying, I don't suggest that you jump right to flying a big drone. The best thing to do is to get yourself a small drone like this one here, which we talked about in an older episode. Get really good with how it operates and then move on to the bigger drones like this one. The thing that helps with this most is muscle memory. You get used to what each thumb is controlling so you can make quick adjustments without panicking if needed. Another thing you can work with is the flight simulator. With the drone on and the propellers off, go into the app, tap this question mark, and then flight simulator. You can do test flights here to get used to flying the drone virtually before actually taking it outside. And the last thing that I would suggest is always keep line of sight on your drone, meaning keep the drone in view so you can see what its surroundings actually are and you're not just going off the monitor. There are a lot of very experienced operators that can go without line of sight. I'm definitely not one of them. I still like to keep it in view so I'm not putting my drone or anything else in danger. But now let's assume that you've done all your homework and you're in an open area where you aren't going to do any damage. Again, we lift off and I have mine set up to automatically raise and lower the landing gear, so once at a certain distance, it will raise those up. Of course, on the remote, we have the two sticks to control. The left stick will control your altitude, throttle you up or down. If you push left or right here, you're gonna rotate in that direction. Then on the right stick, up and down will be forward and back, and then left and right will take you side to side. And that's it, you're ready to fly. Once you've done some flying, you bring the drone back, and once low enough to the ground, it will again automatically lower the landing gear since the sensors below see the ground coming. Then of course you have the camera, which I'm pretty impressed with. We cut red footage with this Inspire footage at full 4K and it blended really well. I'm also usually working in 1080, so this 4K image is really helpful to have some more room to work with in post. It also has zero distortion, so although it's a wide angle lens, you aren't getting any of that fisheye look that I hate. For everything that I've done so far, I have been shooting outside in the sunlight, so for that I'm putting my ND filter on, which comes with the system. Then I'll set my camera settings by clicking the camera icon inside the app to set image size, video size, and color, which I put on log. If you go to more, you can also select video format and format your card as well, amongst other things. Then of course I make sure to switch to video mode and click here to be able to manually adjust your ISO and shutter settings. The auto mode does a great job, but often I'm doing shots where the adjust from the shadow areas to the bright areas would mess up my shot. So just like with any other camera, I like to set those myself. Of course, you can also control the camera independently of the drone by using dual remote setup, but I've been operating almost entirely in single operator mode so far. But with the dual setup, one person pilots the drone and the other controls the camera. It's a lot more versatile, but you can still get some epic shots doing it on your own. In fact, I actually took mine out to Turner Falls this week to grab some test shots, so, you know, look. I'm of course flying over water and close to trees. If you're going to do any of that, make sure you have a lot of hours behind the controls so you're very comfortable piloting. The main thing with getting a good looking shot for me was setting the right exposure. To really get the image I was looking for, it had to be set just right. And usually I was getting exposure, then dropping down just a bit more. Since I'm outside and looking at my phone screen, it's hard to really judge fully. So getting the right exposure really is something else that takes some practice with this whole setup. And finally, we have the battery life. For me, I will fly my Inspire until the percentage is around 30%. At that point, I'm looking to finish up my shots and land by the time it hits 20% just to be on the careful side. Since I go with that, I'm getting somewhere around 13 to 15 minutes of flight time. So you're definitely gonna wanna get as many batteries as you possibly can get your hands on for any kind of gig.
Logo.
And those are the basics of the Inspire 1. There's plenty more to talk about with flying drones and operating the Inspire, but we will save that for a later episode. As always, DJI was not involved with the making of this episode. They did hook us up with the drone to review, but have nothing nothing to do with what I say about it. These are all, of course, my true opinions. But if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. And if you want to know more about the Inspire, check out the links in the notes section below to their website and YouTube channels. And I'll see you guys next week when I realize that my team is dead. They knew we were coming, man. They knew we were coming, and the disc is gone.